YouTube, what's happening? It's your boy Fmcsa back again with another video. Welcome back to the show, man. The boy is back home. Even though I'm not back home. So I know it's been a while. See the title on the thumbnail. You already know what's going on, or can understand what's going on. But yes, I did get fired from operating. Not really. I got fired from my job. I got fired from operating a motor vehicle. So, with that being said, I have not been able to run for this past month. Sorry if y'all, it's kind of loud in here. I had to run my truck. My truck has been sitting, so I'm trying to let it run, get acclimated and stuff like that, you know what I mean? So yeah, but I have not been running. I've been sitting patiently waiting for something to give. You know what I'm saying? At this point, I'm praying on a miracle, man. Praying for a miracle. That's exactly what's going on. But this is the details of the situation, man. I'm pretty sure you're tuning in. You're rocking with your boy. You've been rocking since day one. First and foremost, let me get all the way corrected, man. If you have not already, please go subscribe. Please hit that subscribe button, man. Don't cost you nothing. We greatly appreciate it. I'm gonna have more videos coming. There's gonna be a lot of videos on this subject, because I think a lot of us truckers in the industry need to be well informed on policies and procedures and things that's happening with trucking, and specifically with this new clearinghouse rule. So the situation is, I got banned from driving, operating a motor vehicle, due to the clearinghouse rule. Which, at the time, I knew what was going on, okay? I touched on this in another video, but I didn't finish it. But part 2 of my 11-year trucking journey is going to be dropping soon. I'm going to touch more on that company, so I'm not going to express a whole lot about what happened with me at that company right now. I'm just expressing this new situation that I'm going through. So most of us truckers know out there now there's a new clearinghouse mandate that has taken place in January of 2020. So what that means is every driver and every company must sign up and create a profile on the clearinghouse, okay? And what this does is it puts you in the system, and it's going to record every time you do your company sends you for a drug test or whatever. The information is going to go in the clearinghouse now, okay? So that's first and foremost. Every company, every driver has to sign up for this rule now. Otherwise, there'll probably be some penalties if you don't sign up for it. I don't know how that part of it works, because when they first got introduced, I was just starting. This last company I was with, I was just starting them, and it had just went into effect. So of course they already had things up and going, and you had to, during orientation they made you sign up for it. So I was already in there. But yeah, what it does is every time you go get a drug test, every time you have to go to the clinic, take a drug test or whatever, it's going to be recorded in the clearinghouse. It has to be recorded and all the information put in the clearinghouse. So what that does is it keeps track of basically what it does, and what I see that it's doing is major companies your bigger major carriers are already going to be a part of this program and everything, because that's how they operate. These corporate institutions, at the end of the day, they have a lot at stake with insurance and shareholders or whatever the case. So they're already going to be on this way. You got to do it if you're working for them. So when it comes down to the independents, it's still sketchy. So some independent companies are not all the way understanding what's going on or acclimated to this new change and this new rule and what the procedures are following. Now, I'm just going to put this out and say this. For the most part, as a trucker, you're probably not going to have to deal with anything. You shouldn't have to deal with anything. Go take your drug test as normal, and boom, it gets recorded, everything's fine, there's nothing else you're really gonna be looking for, checking for, nothing like that. But in the situation that you do have a problem that occurs, it's a whole nother ball game, man. And so that's what happened to me. So at the end of the day, regardless of how it happened, I got hit and popped for a positive drug test. Okay? I had a positive on my drug test. So once you get a positive and it is recorded in the clearinghouse, it's a whole slew of stuff, policies and procedures that you have to go through. Now, I'm going to also put this out here. If you are a driver that for the most part, if you ever get popped with a positive, you can probably guarantee kiss that job goodbye. Okay? They're going to fire you on the spot. That's most major carriers, they have a zero tolerance policy for alcohol, drugs, and all of that stuff. And I know that this new rule and a lot of things that go on in the industry is putting a strain on certain things, because I do understand and realize that there are medical conditions that some drivers may have that they get prescribed certain medications for. Now, I'm not well versed in all of that, but what I am going to tell you is that you got to be careful with that. You got to check and make sure that whoever you're working for or running for, that they understand that they know that, and check and see what the rules and guidelines are for certain medications that are prescription for whatever situation you got going on. Now, I don't know if certain ones will allow you to keep driving or keep operating, or if it's all, regardless of what type of prescription or drug that it is, that it's automatic termination, or however that works. I'm not really sure. That's one of the gray areas too. So I don't know how that works with certain prescribed prescription drugs and things of that nature. We do know that there's a list of drugs that are a certain class that will automatically fail you and terminate you if you're on these types of drugs. But I do know there are some of those drugs that are on the list that people actually a serious medical condition that they get prescribed for. So that's a whole nother thing. I don't know too much about that, but I am going to say for y'all drivers out there that are in that bracket, make sure you do your research. Because there's one thing I didn't do my research well enough. I got hit for a positive, and I'm gonna bring this up too. I'm gonna tell y'all exactly what it was and what it is, because this also needs to be addressed. You guys, if you guys are out there, and I've heard plenty of some other truck drivers talk about this, well, almost after the fact. But yes, this is a serious concern right now with the CBD market. CBD is unregulated, and it is a tool that it's pretty. I mean, I don't know how new it is, but it's more widespread now. There's more CBD shops popping up all over the place. It's being widely used. There's more information coming out about it now. But in this industry, it's just safe to leave it alone, man. Just leave it alone. I know there's products out there that specify no THC. And that's in the realm of what I thought. I'm like, okay, cool. If it don't have THC in it, that's the only thing that could, pop a positive drug test. So everything else, part of the plant, is okay. So I'm thinking, okay, if it doesn't have THC in it, we good. But at the same token, I would say, yes, you need to do way more in-depth research on that. But as a trucker, don't even bother with it, because you just don't know. Even if it says no THC, it's a possibility it still can have some THC in it. And I know some of them say, okay, well, these products have THC, but it's below 0.3% or whatever. But that could be wrong also. And two, there's a lot of different products out here now that have like hemp and hemp-based products that derive from the hemp plant or marijuana plant or whatever you want to call it. And that's them things I'm finding out as well. It's like, okay, those could possibly have a small percentage of something that actually gets through or can be digested, or it could be traced in some of these other products. Because for me, I like to buy all natural. I use all natural products, and there's a lot of products that I have used that have hemp in it. Going to soap, toothpaste, just regular oil, like you cook with it. It's very diverse, so there's all types of ways you can use these products. And at this point, I guess you can say I'm just kind of shook from the whole situation. So I would say just don't use it at all. Just don't even bother with it. But that was my situation, man. I was taking these products, and I was very confident in the fact that, okay, this is not gonna last long, and this is, this should be out, whatever the case. But still, THC pops up. It still pops up. So it's just strange, because it's like, okay, well, they advertise this, or you think it doesn't have this or whatever, and then you come to find out, okay, it actually does. It actually does. So the situation happened with me. I got popped. Once you get popped for a positive drug test, you have to go through a whole program, and you have have to pay for it yourself. And it is not cheap. At the end of the day, all in all, you probably gonna be looking somewhere close to $700-800 just to get back rolling. Now, there's probably ways to do it that may be a little bit cheaper, things of that nature, but the program to do it, to go through it right and make sure you dotting all your I's and crossing all your T's, you're gonna look probably about, like I said, about $700 to get back rolling, because you have to go through a program, a substance abuse program. You have to get a substance abuse counselor. They're gonna go through certain steps with you, do an evaluation. You have to go take a training course for drug, alcohol, driving, all that stuff. There's paperwork that's involved. You have to do another urine analysis, and all these urine tests that you take from the moment you get with a positive on up until your RTD come out of your pocket, not the company pocket or anybody else's pocket. It come out of your pocket. So that's why I say leave it alone, man. Don't even risk it, because you're gonna be out money and you're not gonna be able to work at the same time. So think about that. And once you go through that, you know what I'm saying, at the end of the day, you go through this procedure. And then once you get to the point where you get ready to take your urine analysis again, every place might be different, or every substance abuse counselor might be different, but the one I'm working with, they make you take another drug test before they clear you to go do a return to duty test. So you have to come back clean for that, negative. Then you can go do your return to duty test. Now, return to duty test is very different, and I got hung up. I'm gonna speak about that later, why it's taking me so long, because again, I didn't know the full policies and procedures of how everything is going to work when it comes to a return to duty. Return to duty is different from a regular drug test. Usually you get your paperwork, boom, you go to the clinic, you hand your paperwork, tell you go pee in the cup, boom, you take it, and you're done. Return to duty is totally different. Once you get placed in this program or in this status, you have to do what is called return to duty drug test. Return to duty is specific. It has to be marked return to duty on your paperwork. It has to be observed, which means somebody has to stand there, watch you pee into a cup, make sure you ain't got nothing on you, all that other stuff. Just like if you was on parole, because it's exactly what it is. It's basically you're on parole now. Or not parole, my bad, probation. So you have to go pee in the cup, they have to watch you, they have to sign off on it, on the paperwork, that they observed it, and boom, there's your return to duty. But those specifics have to be met. Otherwise, they're not going to accept it. The clearinghouse is not going to accept it. And it has to be the same sex that does it. Usually, okay, anybody can, do it, male or female or whatever, as far as the paperwork goes. But if it's female on paperwork and you're a male, they're not going to accept it. So that has to be done. Once you get that, everything come back clean and clear. Boom, it gets sent up to the clearinghouse. They put it in your file. They'll update the clearinghouse, which you can see and the company sees, and anybody else, wherever else you may go and work at. It'll show that, okay, boom, you completed this part. Then after that, you are released back to work, but the company or you or whoever has to schedule a certain amount of randoms for you to take within a 1-year time span. So you're not out the gate yet. You have to finish all the randoms, come back clean on all your randoms, and then you'll be done. It'll drop off your record, and then you'll be clear. So that's the whole process, man, and it's a lengthy one. You know, I'm still waiting to do my RTD test. You know, I've been down longer than I should have, just because I didn't understand or know about all these little extra policies and procedures. And it's been crazy because I've taken so many P tests and urine tests, and you know, they have to, everything is third party. You go to this place, they do this, they ship it to somebody else, boom, then it has to get shipped to this person, then you have to go talk to this person, and it's a lot of moving pieces when it comes to this part of it. So I stress and urge, don't ever get yourself caught into this situation right now, because it is not worth it. You're going to lose time, you're going to lose money, and it's going to damage your record. But there is life on the other side. You just have to go through this. That's all. Now, for most people, if you're a company, like operating with a company, it's pretty hard. It can be very damaging, because at that point, once it is on your record, and every company, if you go anywhere else, they're gonna pull it up. They're gonna do an inquiry on your clearinghouse, and if it's showing in your clearinghouse that you have whatever derogatory on there, they're probably not gonna hire you. More than likely, they're not gonna hire you. But there are independent companies out here who give people second chances. They control a lot of stuff. They might give you a second chance, or you know, if you explain your situation or whatever the case, they might be like, okay, cool, you know what I'm saying, we just have to do this, that, and the third, and then, you know what I'm saying, you know, it's good. Luckily, the people that I'm rolling with, or that I've been operating under, they're very understanding, and I've already built a reputation with them, so they like me and they want me, because they know I'm a good driver, they know I'm a valuable asset. So when this happened, you know, abruptly, out of nowhere, because I thought, honestly, that this stuff was already done and cleared from a previous situation, but it wasn't. So it was some things that I didn't know, the company didn't know, and we never really got any information about it. You know, all the other parties that's involved in this didn't know about it either. So it's just very, and you're gonna have to deal with that a lot too, because for one, it just came out in 2020, and then part of that year we were basically shut down. We've been shut down, so it's like there wasn't a lot going on. So basically, it's ramping back up again, and we're just finding out all this information now. So that's another reason why it's been taking so long as well. But we getting back on this horse, man. There's one thing about me is you can knock me down, but I'm gonna find a way to get back up at the end of the day. It's just another bump in the road. And at the end of the day, you know, it was a mistake on my behalf, a big mistake, something I've never dealt with in my 11-year career, that now I'm having to go through. And it's a very eye-opening. It's very eye-opening. And I wish this on no one. Like, please, truckers out there, be safe and be aware of what you're putting on and what you're putting into your body. Knowing that, you know, with all these new products out here and all this new stuff going on, and I know, you know, there's a lot of laws being changed and stuff like that, but if you're in a government operated, you know, type of employment, stay away from it. Just don't do it. Don't touch it, don't look at it, don't nothing. Like, because it will really mess up your career. Honestly, it really will mess up your career. If it wasn't for, you know, this company being understanding and working with me, honestly, I probably wouldn't be driving anymore. I wouldn't be driving anymore, because even if I did go through the program and did everything I was supposed to do, it's like you're gonna have a problem. That's another thing you're gonna have to deal with, trying to find somebody who's willing to give you another chance. Find another company that you can drive for that's willing to give you another chance. And then with that being said, depending on your situation, how you set up, you might have to, you know, I have a lot of leisure where I'm at. I run, you know, not too far. I run in a certain area. I do certain type of work. I'm comfortable with that. You know, you might find, you know, if you're dealing with this and coming across this and dealing with it, you might find yourself having to take a job or do something that you absolutely don't want to do, but you need to do. You know what I'm saying? At that point, you know, you might have to just, like, you know, bite your tongue on that one and just, you know, do what needs to be done. But that can happen. Or, you know, it may be hard pressed for you to get on anywhere, depending on how you set up your situation or whatever the case. But for me, man, I thank God and I'm blessed that, you know, I got a team behind me that's very understanding, and they trust me. They like me as a driver, all that stuff. So that's been a big blessing. Even though they're losing money just as much as I'm losing money every time, you know, every day that this truck sits, it's losing tons and tons of money. But is life on the other side of this, man? You just got to go through the policy, go through your little probationary period, you know, fund that, you know, pay whatever needs to be paid to get your license back secured and be able to operate again. And I'll tell you what, I'm never, ever going to go through this situation again. Ever. If I get on the other side of this, which I know I will, all praise to the Most High, I'm never going to be put in this situation again. Make sure your urine is clean, man. Do not get caught slipping out here. These jokers is buckling down on us, and they ain't playing no more. It is a money pit. At the end of the day, this whole little situation, this operation that's going on now, it is a money pit. It's for you to get, for them or whoever to get more money. But it is the money that you're gonna have to pay out. Trust me, you better get your act together. If you got a serious addiction or problem or something like that, like, trucking ain't for you. Just hang it up. Just forget about it, because you're not gonna be able to, you know, finagle this. It is, you know, I know probably back in the day there's probably some ways to finagle some things or certain things, you know, but nah, you can't finagle this. And this is a lot of this and other things is why people are getting out of trucking. Honestly. But it is what it is for right now. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing we can do about it. The law has changed and these policies and procedures are in place and active. So do your part and do your due diligence. Do your research. Research this stuff, man, because it is very important.